weird cables. If you ever have this, it tastes, you know how things taste like they smell? This tastes like the smell of weed when people are getting high and smoking weed. This is New Hint Energy Water. I got a 12 pack of these for $9 at Sam's. And it's actually, well, this one's not that good, but I'm hot. I'm sweating my ass off. It's 90 degrees here in the shop. Actually, it's probably hotter than that. But I just wanted to share with a bunch of people. How my heart is just breaking for people in Louisiana right now. It's brutal. If you're one of the few people who are not affected, and I'd say there's a lot of people that are affected by this hurricane, who are not in the area in Louisiana, or not in the cone of devastation that this is going to be. I don't even know where my phone is here. It's way over here. Let me put this on silent. It's been going off all day. Yeah, boots on the ground. Right now, I'm getting all of I got eight emails right here with the Cajun Navy Ground Force volunteer requests. Yeah, it's not going to stop. Let me pause this real quick. Or I'll put it on. If you've ever seen the rescue videos, if you've ever seen the people that rush to an area to help others when they're in need, the Cajun Navy does absolutely. I don't think that there's any limitation of what people there who come together at a time in need. I don't think that there's any limitation of what they're capable of and what they're willing to do to help others, people that they don't even know. And I just wanted to share this. If you are interested in volunteering, send me a message, post a comment to this video. I'll try and leave this video up instead of deleting it, like many of the others when we're playing music too loud, and I don't want to get another strike with YouTube. But I can put you in touch with the people so that you can muster up and be a part of the solution to help people, thousands of people in Louisiana who are going to be without power, who are going to lose absolutely everything that they own. I worked for Lockheed Martin during Hurricane Katrina. I lost everything that I owned, including the Bronco that's parked outside the OJ Bronco when it was under 8 feet of water during Hurricane Isaac. It has been it's just one of those things where there has been so much that I have, that's the Zello channel. If you're not on the Zello channel, or know what that is, it's a group. It's a group of people that get together on a wireless app. Like if your cell phone signal goes down and you can't communicate on the cell phone towers, we use an app called Zello to communicate. It's kind of like a walkie-talkie app that allows people to be in broadcast mode, so that you can get you can get the data of what's going on in your area. You can listen in while the first responders, the people who are part of the Cajun Navy, who are part of the help that's there to actually do something for you. If you watched my video last night, I don't believe one bit of what the Red Cross does. I won't buy into it. Years ago when we were sending all sorts of stuff to Louisiana and then to Texas for Hurricane Harvey, mostly when we took stuff to Texas, we had 3 18-wheelers, big 53-foot trailers full of dry goods, clothes, food, everything that people would need. Millions of dollars worth of donations through our church. And absolutely every bit of that was turned away by the Red Cross, simply because it did not go through their union-provided trucking network or whatever they were calling it at that time. And so we went through local churches and got everything to the people who needed it right then and there. And that was really the important thing. I know this is a Sunday afternoon. Probably everybody's busy, barbecuing, spending time with family. I know personally, no fewer than a couple hundred people that right now are either stuck in traffic, running low on gas, have no roof over their heads, or if they have a roof, it's still in disrepair. It's still messed up from the last storm in October. It's just brutal. And one of the things that everybody's getting together for the Lafayette Rally Point right now. And then on to Homa. Homa's going to be hammered. It's going to be hammered. And, it's one of those things. Yeah, so Catherine just messaged me. She's going to be good so far. We'll see. We'll see how it all works out. But I just wanted to put my heart out there and let everyone know that the reason this is so dear to me is because I've been affected like so many people are about to be. Hurricane Isaac was brutal for me because during Hurricane Isaac, at the exact same time that hurricane was coming through Louisiana, my grandmother was in the hospital and literally had less than a week to live. And had we known that at that time, probably would have done some things differently. My father at the time was in China and had to catch a flight back. I actually had my ambulance back then, and it was running. I had built it for Cannonball. It was 2011. It was right before the 2011 Cannonball. And he had, had to make the flight all the way from, I believe it was Kaohsiung, China, to San Francisco to Houston. I picked him up at the airport with the ambulance, threw all the lights on, siren and everything, and flew across Houston at 100 miles an hour plus. Parked that sucker right in the front of the hospital, Memorial Hospital, and then that's when my dad got the chance to see his mother and say goodbye. And the whole time, the whole week before he got home, I could sit in the room, but I couldn't say a word. I couldn't utter a sound because my father and I sound a lot alike. And I didn't want my grandmother to think that my father was there and let go. And sure enough, my father had about 30 minutes. They had words together. She acknowledged him there, and then she let go. And that was brutal for me because I didn't get to say goodbye. And when you go through loss like that, when you see other people go through losses like that, it affects you big time. And it makes you make choices in your life to do things for others before you think about doing them to yourself. I have so many comments on all my threads about, the person who was here that they worked on their Bronco. Why would I let them, or why would I give them my truck, or why would I, let them camp out here for 2 months? And it's because in my heart, I always want to help someone. Why did I drive all the way to Florida to bring somebody a drive shaft so they could be safe? Today, I'm actually going to fix that damn drive shaft so I can move this Bronco out of my shop. It's taking up space that I need to work. So that's what I'm going to do today. And I'll make a video on how to properly change a U-joint, which, we'll use the press. I'll do what it takes to get that, done. And, it's just one of those things. I probably should just put my face up, because usually we have 20 something people in here. I got 7. So that shows that I don't think everybody liked my Noah's Ark. I don't think everybody liked my Noah's Ark picture that I made up on Photoshop. But that's what it's going to take to save a lot of these people. A lot of people in Louisiana are going to need something like Noah. And that's the scary part. I've lived through that. Hurricane Isaac, having to bug out of there a week early, knowing that storm was going to be a direct hit. Knowing that after Katrina, and they fixed the levees for the most part, but they didn't fix the pumps. And they still have 3 pumps that are dead. Now, they say that those are reserve pumps. But when you have a hurricane and you have flooding, and when you have massive storm surge flooding, you don't have anything called reserve. You have everything's operating, and it should be operating, and you were given billions of dollars by the government to get it operating. I mean, today is the anniversary of Katrina. How could you not pray for these people who remember so well losing everything then? Sorry. Yeah, I swear that tastes like weed smells. It's weird. Anniversary of Katrina today. I remember being in a Black Hawk helicopter working for Lockheed Martin, flying all over New Orleans. And it wasn't a volunteer gig then. I worked for Lockheed then. And we were dropping off pallets of water, MREs, taking notes of where we saw offenders. And when I say offenders, people who are not friendly to society. And then giving those to people who would go out and eradicate such issues. It was just... And now I see that when they fixed the levees in New Orleans after Katrina, what that ended up doing is forcing all of that water, that storm surge, beyond New Orleans. See, it used to be, if it would flood, that water would dissipate into the marshlands of Laplace and southern Louisiana. It would also dissipate across the interstate of I-12 into some of the other, flooding areas. And that dissipation made a big difference. Because, if you start containing it, then the water gets higher. So, and it has no place to go. So after Lake Pontchartrain filled up, the water had no place to go except spill into Lake Maurepas. If you're familiar with the area, you have Blind River, you have the Tickfaw River, you have the Amite River, all flow into the diversion canal, which is a floodway plain. It was designed man-made. The diversion canal flows into the Blind River. And all of that was designed for floodplain, to get waters to evacuate the area or to absorb the water and distribute it. And of course, because, we have all this land out here and we've dug this trench for miles and miles, why not develop it and put houses right on it? Well, of course, it's what happens, right? Nothing for one purpose cannot be repurposed for something else. So, when that happened, there are massive amounts of people who got flooded. And then after Hurricane Isaac, they did the expansion on I-12, which brought it from 2 and 4 lanes to 6 lanes wide. And they put this retaining wall, this K-barrier wall down the center of it. And if you Google images of I-12 flooding, if you look at every freaking interstate that's got a K-barrier wall, on the bottom that looks like they've got these little holes that you can put forks in and move the wall around. Even if the wall is one continuous cast, there's holes in there, or there's grates in there in most places that the water can flow from one side to the other. Well, when the contractor built this wall, they didn't do that. There are no pass-throughs. And then, to my knowledge, today, they still have not made any attempt to bore holes in that so water can go across. So if you Google images of I-12 flooding, you'll see that one side of the interstate is dry or wet if it's raining, and the other side is 4 to 5 feet deep, almost the entire for miles. And what that is everything south of I-12 flooded, and people north of I-12 were high and dry. That's a problem, because instead of letting that water dissipate and roll off into the Amite River and some other areas, those of us that had houses on the Amite where we hadn't had recorded flooding in 50 years, I mean, we knew that the river would rise up. Don't get me wrong, the house was on 6-foot stilts for a reason. 6 feet. That's up here. Now, water would come up, cover the land, you know, so be it. We would move our trucks and move our vehicles and go park them outside the floodplain and take the boat, literally, and run it to the house. And then as the waters receded, we'd take the boat, go back to where the truck was, put it on the trailer, and head on back. No biggie. Seriously, that's how we lived in that area. Well, no more after Hurricane Isaac. And, you know, since, God, I forget which hurricane it was. Not Irma. Maybe it was Irma. There's been so many. They all kind of run together. So, but, all right. Well, I'll stop rambling. And I just wanted to reach out to everybody and kind of give why I've been sharing the videos and stuff from WWL. They have several of the best meteorologists in the area, and they have all family members that are in the area, so their coverage is better than pretty much any that I've seen thus far. You know, I've been working with the Cajun Navy, been doing what we can. I'm going to coordinate with them to pick up some generators. It's just, it blows my mind that there's people in Louisiana that are jumping all over Facebook Marketplace, scalping generators. So I've been reaching out to a couple of nonprofits and a couple places to see if we can purchase some generators here in Florence, and then I'll end up bringing those with me to Louisiana, so that helps those people who need them the most. It just, like I said, it blows my mind that people could do that they could gouge somebody for a necessary item. Yeah, there's gonna be a lot of that. Jenna, I'm donating my time. I found it Wet Lives Matter a long ass time ago. I think it was 2000. I want to say 2008. It was pretty much a joke back then because everybody was talking about, you know, blue lives and black lives and all that. Maybe it was before that. Maybe it was 2013. Meanwhile, we were all you know, worried about our houses, our friends, our family, our belongings, our health, and yet all the news cared about was this blue lives versus black lives thing. And I said, you know what, we're flooded out. We've lost everything. Wet lives matter. And we all laughed about it. Then I created the page on Facebook, and it took off to 17,000 people. You know, that's kind of, you know, how it happened and how it got started. It's just, it is what it is. That was June 1957. Yeah, that was before I got there. Just a little bit. Dean, how's it going? Jenna, Kelly, Raymond, everybody, I appreciate y'all joining the channel today. My heart's been heavy all morning. I've been in contact with a lot of my friends that are still in Louisiana. It's been one of those things where, you know, when you move out of the state and you don't get home for all the LSU games, yeah, go Tigers. Go Tigers. That's how you got to say it the right way. I'm safe. I'm in South Carolina, but I'm ready to get my ass to Louisiana to help out. I've been on the phone with Lauren and Rob with the Cajun Navy. Lauren's the coordinator for everything related to the Cajun Navy. She's in charge of the ground force. They're rallying up tomorrow in Lafayette, Louisiana, and I mean, it'll still be pouring, it'll still be raining, it'll still be, I mean, anybody with a chainsaw, anybody with any type of, thank you, Daniel, appreciate that. Anybody with anything to help out with the storm, to be able to put boots on the ground to go help people there, that's what they're going to do. They're coordinating everything. If you're interested in volunteering to help out with the Cajun Navy and be a part of something much bigger than yourself, you know, let me know. I'll put you in touch directly with the people who can give you an assignment. When I wrap this video up, I'll put the links so that you can get on the Cajun Navy's email list. If you use the app Zello, the weather here is gorgeous. I mean, it's 80, 90, 95 degrees. It's hot as hell here in the shop. There's beautiful blue skies. But that's the way it always is before a storm. Now, mind you, this storm track, if you've been following the storm track, this storm is going to go up through Louisiana, okay? If you've looked at any of the storm tracks, and I'll pull this up real quick. By Monday morning, the storm will be getting into Mississippi. Appreciate it, Daniel. I really do. I really do. By Monday night, it'll be in mid Mississippi. Okay? By Tuesday, it'll be in northern Alabama and starting to get the signs of it in Nashville by tomorrow. I mean, the bands of this, you gotta understand, let's look at the width of this storm. The nasty part of the storm is from Lake Charles right now all the way to Tallahassee. Okay? Wrap your mind around that. That's over 400 miles. Okay? So everybody in that area is going to get wet. But here's where it affects me here in South Carolina. All of that storm is going to head, the nasty part of the storm, the eye of the storm is going to go right across Nashville, straight to Charleston, and then head out to Philadelphia. So, but the majority of this rain, once it hits landfall, okay, once it gets north, I would say Nashville, the Smoky Mountains, Appalachians all drain, where does that water go? Let's think about this. Let's go, this is Florida, and up here, that's Maine. Right here in the middle, that nice little sweet spot, you know, where you figure out, okay, my steak is this tender on the grill. All right, this part here, as the earth rotates, has a convergence of water. Okay, that's just how the tides work. So at this part, which is Georgia, South Carolina, southern South Carolina, we have the highest tidal surge on the entire East Coast. If you're in Tybee Island, right in the crux of that, you can walk a mile out at low tide and catch all the little starfish and sand dollars, and there's tidal pools that get warmed by the sun, and they're great to hang out in. But here's the other part of that. All of the water that recedes out of the mountains, that comes down, comes right through our backyard here. We have the Santee River. We have the Petey River. There's probably 10 other rivers that I don't know the names of right now because I'm still a local newbie here. All of that water is going to come right through here, and we're going to have flooding right here again at the shop. Now, over the last 2 months, it's rained here almost every single day. We just literally but the ground outside is still wet. So I'm gonna pack up the Aerovault. I'm gonna load it full of generators. I'm gonna take what I can get here locally, take that to Louisiana, drop that off, only to turn around and come back here and start cleaning out again. Now we got generators, we got everything we need. You know, we'll put everything up on blocks if it really floods bad again. But the truth is that when your friends are in need, you step up. Yeah, Dan, you'll probably get a little bit of rain up there for sure. I mean, the bottom end of Ohio is projected to get, I mean, I don't know if you'll get maybe to Dayton. You'll probably get some rain. Who knows? I mean, this storm would go a little further north. Sharon's leaving Thursday to fly to see her son, and I have no idea if her flight's going to get canceled or not. So we'll see. We'll keep her in your prayers for Thursday, because that's when she's going to go visit him. And you know, due to the fact that the airport she's going to is not going to be, you know, because remember Thursday evening, that's when the path is supposed to be right over. You're on Lake Erie? Oh, badass. Dan, how far away are you from Rochester? I know it's a little bit of a stretch because you got Pennsylvania in the way, but how far away are you from Rochester? Just for my own knowledge. Right now, as of 30 minutes ago, Hurricane Ida was 80 miles southeast of Baton Rouge. The winds right now are at 140 miles an hour sustained and 185 mile an hour gusts. And it's a quick moving storm. It's moving at 11 miles an hour. Peak sustained winds in Baton Rouge during the next 10 days. Get this, the next 10 days, peak sustained winds are 46 miles per hour. That's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. But, you know, I'm used to that. I mean, when I drive from, you know, out west, I'll encounter 30 to 40, 50 mile an hour winds steady, you know, in Arizona and whatnot. At 8 o'clock tonight, it's projected that the winds in Baton Rouge will be 105 miles an hour with max gusts of 125 miles per hour. If you go to the Wet Lives Matter Facebook page, I have a link where you can put in a zip code, and it'll tell you exactly what your projected winds are for the wind path for this hurricane. If you don't know any zip codes for Baton Rouge or Louisiana, Baton Rouge's zip code is 70816 at the house I used to live in. At 509 miles northeast on Tuesday, this is crazy. Tuesday, the winds will still be at 25 miles an hour. By Wednesday, here's what's crazy. By Friday, okay, and this is Friday, by Thursday, once the eye of the storm comes up to New Jersey and Delaware, in Maryland, it's going to start picking up speed. So by Wednesday night, Thursday morning, the storm's going to start to accelerate. So they're projecting by Thursday morning, the wind sustained speeds are going to go from 25 miles an hour to 45 miles per hour. And it's going to go post-tropical. But it could pick up again, because then it's going to, the nasty part of the storm will be back onto the water on the Atlantic by Wednesday night. And that means it can start gaining energy. And if the Gulf Stream shifts any bit, yeah, tie down your trash can. It will start crawling up north, and we'll see what happens then. So again, this whole hurricane's moving, and it's going to be climbing up north, dumping everything in New York, Connecticut, Massachusetts, heading right out to Maine and out to sea. The other issues, yeah, bungee it to your bench. That's funny. Oh, I bet there's a bunch of storm chasers out there. If I didn't have so much work to do, I mean, if I didn't have to get Baby Shap, completed, I'd be down there myself right now. But then I would be useless, because I'd just be doing the same shit everybody else is doing, is reporting on the weather, where there's already a dozen people doing that. I'd rather be here in an area where I can help by coordinating an effort to get generators and do stuff to help people get what they need, and make that happen. But we'll see. We'll see what ends up happening. You would be surprised at how difficult it is to transport water. Several years ago, when we took water to Texas, we had I had 2 pallets of water that were donated by Food Lion in this area. And a pallet of water weighs more than most mid-size SUVs. So when you put that into an enclosed car trailer, it puts all the weight in a central location and makes it handle kind of funky. So we literally had to break that pallet up and spread it out, because we had clothes, we had games, we had all sorts of stuff. Here's what I'm going to tell people. If you're going to donate something, everybody thinks about water, toilet paper, toiletries, and stuff like that. That's what they want to donate. Here's what I'm going to tell you to donate. And I hope you take this to heart, and I hope this really, really helps you think about this. Don't donate the same thing everybody else does. Here's what you donate. You donate board games, cards, checkers, whatever. Things that you can give to a child that's, say, 10 and under. Okay? Listen to me here. Don't worry. People are going to get big box stores and stuff like that to donate hygiene products, water. I mean, there's going to be big companies like Coca-Cola, Budweiser. Budweiser's in Houston. They'll put beer, they'll put, you know, water in beer cans like they've done for every year and every major disaster that I've ever seen. If you really, really, really want to help people, okay? Think about the children. Think about if you just lost absolutely everything and you're living in a high school or a church or a convention center. If you've lost everything that you own, okay, you think about that child 10 and under who's just lost every toy that meant everything in his entire life, okay? 10-year-old mentality, you know, like Morgan. Think about this, okay? Think about you've lost every single thing. And you're standing there at your mom and dad's leg and you're going, mama, 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 okay? You think about how that little 10-year-old child's going to get that little stuffed animal or that one thing that's going to change their life sitting in a shelter for the next 10 days, 2 weeks, month. This is going to go on. Katrina went on for months. People were moving FEMA trailers a year after Katrina hit. I was one of them. I worked for Lockheed Martin until we got all our operations out of New Orleans Airport. And then I went back to Conroe to the airport to Lone Star then. You know, think of the children, people. Think about the kids who, like I said, have lost everything. This is their entire world and it's gone. It's shattered. Their parents are shattered. Their parents are trying to put their own shit together and they've got a child that's 10 and under flipping out because they don't know what to do. They don't know how to comprehend this. They don't know how to listen and shut up. So donate a toy. Just reach out and help somebody. Donate a toy. And if that's just the one piece that you take out of this entire video, like I said, don't worry about the Red Cross. Those commercialized companies, they just piss me off. Reach out to the churches, reach out to the Cajun Navy. I'll put the links in the description of this video so y'all can bless those people who need the help the most. If you want to volunteer, you know, I can put you in touch with the people, put a comment in this video. Not here in the live stream. Go to the video itself, put a comment below that after I save this video. And, you know, put in your information or reach out to me. And, yeah, now my friends are I'm seeing notifications that they just marked themselves safe. It's freaking brutal. I love it how Facebook keeps giving me a suggestion to ask people to donate money. No, I'm not asking people to donate money. Don't send me your money. Copy, save, go here. I love how I can multitask. This is awesome. All right, those are the two links to put you right in the middle of everything you need to know. And if you get registered, there's a way you can register as a volunteer. There's a way that you can oh, my stomach turns on this. It's so brutal. You can be a helper. You can be a nonprofit. You can be a business. You can be a survivor. You can request for people to help you. Those are the links. Wow. I'm getting a little... I gotta change flavors. I can't do the flavor. That's crazy. It really is. I'm gonna have to get my flag off the stand over there, put it on my truck, so when I'm driving my ass to Louisiana this next week, I can be showing my colors. Get my LSU flags going. I bet I can mount those to the air vault. That'd be pretty badass. But yeah, it's I posted this on the Cajun Navy. Yeah, the generators are in short supply. I talked to my friend Brian, who's he's a retired captain for the fire department there in that area, and yeah, he's got. Luckily, he has property north of I-10 or I-12, I should say, and that property area will probably see about 3 feet of water. The people south of I-12 will probably get anywhere from 6 to 8 feet of water. So you're going to see helicopter rescues. You're going to see boats driving up and down the highways. You're going to see minivans with propeller marks on the roof because that happened. We did that on one. We didn't even know it was there. Ran right over a minivan. Yeah, 285 people have 65 shares on my post. Most people haven't left the area. You got to think about this, okay? One, a lot of people still have their houses are still screwed up from the last flood and the last hurricane. It was just, in October. Okay? There's other issues. Think about this. A lot of people are out of work. All of the freebie money from the government ran out months ago. So there's a lot of people who never went back to work. They're out of work due to COVID. The COVID restrictions, because of the Democratic government, don't get me started in Louisiana, has imposed restrictions. So people haven't been able to go back to work. People haven't gotten their vax, which is ridiculous because I wouldn't get one anyway. But, they're hurting. And now you got to pick up what little bit you got, grab a little bit of fuel that you can get, and go sit in traffic for 10 hours. So it's going to be brutal, people. It's going to be absolutely brutal. So it weighs heavy on my heart. It really does. And I think I'm here at my shop. I'm good. I'm well. And my friends, family, and the people in my hometown that I care about are going to get wiped out. So even if you don't give to an org, reach out to the Cajun Navy. Seriously. I get it. I don't donate money to any orgs. I give my time. Reach out to the Cajun Navy, help them out. I remember when Trump had them in the White House. It was epic. It was awesome. I think we need a Cajun Navy flotilla parade and have Trump on the front of the boat. I will bring my boat for that event. And you can bet your ass. I bet Donald Trump does show up before Biden ever does. I mean, thank you, Jenna. There's a lot of people there that are going to need a lot of help, a lot of prayers. At least keep them in your prayers, because that's where they're really going to need it. That's where they're really going to need it. So, I think I'm going to wrap this video up. I've been on here 56 minutes. I have a lot of preparation I have to do so I can get out of the shop this week. I got a lot of stuff I got to clean up because we're going to have a big mess here once all those rainwaters come down, like I was speaking of earlier, and hit this area. So I'll leave this video up. I'll post the comments. You guys all know that I'll be sharing videos of all the preparation, what we do, what we've got to get done. I've already talked to my buddy who's the warehouse manager at Harbor Freight's warehouse. Their East Coast warehouse distribution center is 12-15 miles away. I've already spoke to the people there on how many generators they have. They have over 1,000 generators on hand. And the shitty part is that they're not going to be put into trucks and shipped down to the Gulf Coast area anytime soon. So that's what led me to reach out to, oh God, what's his name? My brain went poof. It's not Milton. What the hell's his name? Anyway, the manager of my store here in Florence, and check with him on how many generators are available. And I've already got a commitment for a few of them. These are $2,000 generators. Harbor Freight has a new, that's what I need to do. I need to put this link up. Harbor Freight has a new 9,500 watt generator. $9,500 all weather. Save. All right, I put that one into the feed as well. So, yeah, okay. This generator is a 9,500 watt generator. Let's put this in perspective. If y'all remember the video that I shot of the Harbor Freight 3,500 and then the what is it, a 2,500, the one that got overfilled with oil by a certain someone who was staying here. Okay, the 3,500 watt generator ran the refrigerator and the air compressor and the fan all at the same time. Okay, so that being said, you could plug that thing in, and now please listen to me when I say this, because I'm going to tell you how I've done things. I'm not an electrician. I'm not giving electrical advice, but I'm telling you, if you go to your breaker box and you hit the main and you shut that sumbitch off, okay, there's a way that you can run your house by tripping breakers off and feed it so that all your plugs, you don't have to run extension cords and all that dangerous crap. There's ways to do this the safe way. You can have an electrician come to your house and wire a box, a 30 or 50 amp box, outside of your power distribution box, your breaker box as we know it, so where you can plug in your generator, and then you go to the mains and you switch it off. Now the reason you switch your mains off is because that's where your box is taking energy from the pole or from the ground or from the street or however your house is wired, okay, and separates it, okay? And this way you know that you're not backfeeding the pole, so if some lineman's out there thinking that the system's shut down, your generator's not going to pop him off his scaffold or whatever he's got, his bucket, and knock his ass out. That being said, a 9,500 watt generator should power your entire freaking house. I mean, that'll be for most parts, it's 95 amps. Your air conditioner won't pull 95 amps. If your air conditioner is pulling 95 amps, you must have a condo complex. Okay? Most people can get their air conditioners under 30 amps with a 50 amp starter. Okay? This will do that. All right? The specs of this thing are stupid. Plus, it has a built-in CO secure system. So it automatically is sniffing its own fumes, its own environment. Okay? So if at any point in time it detects that it's picking up CO, carbon monoxide, all right, it automatically shuts itself off. The other thing is it's really cool is it has a bigger engine. It's a 460cc engine. Okay, that's like a small it's like a pretty good sized dirt bike, 4-stroke dirt bike. So that's not a wimpy ass engine. So when it needs to cycle, it needs to crank in gear. Again, I'm not getting paid by Harbor Freight. I just have bought, their generators, and I know that they work. And I'm not about to go buy a Honda and spend $5,000 for a generator that a $2,000 generator, literally made miles apart from each other here in South Carolina, will do a better job. It's yeah, it runs at 67 decibels. My fan right now is making more noise than a generator would. That's just the meat of it. Yeah, let's see. What is it? It has output for 63 amps at 120 volts. It has a 9,500 maximum starting watts, and it can run a continuous of 7,600 watts. Are you kidding me? Solar. Okay, so here's what happens. Right now, everybody in Louisiana that has solar is not getting any sunlight. So for the next 2 to 3 days, while they have zero sunlight, you better have a massive investment in batteries. Because once they're gone and the sun doesn't come out, like it did, for the last hurricane, it was a week or two, and then we had more storms that came behind it. Sunshine was far and few between. Okay? If you have natural gas coming into your house, my big suggestion is that you get a natural gas generator. Okay? The Generac is a phenomenal one. Of course, they have programs and stuff where you can get a really, really badass, natural gas generator. Because that's all copper tubing in the pipe. Yeah, but a lights out scenario, again, you could run a battery bank and then have a generator as a backup. And then the generator could be charging your battery backup. Again, your generator would then stay in idle mode versus full power mode. You follow me? And then when you go to sleep at night, the generator can be running to charge up everything that you were using the day before. So there's always a good case and good call for having a good generator. Whether you use a natural gas powered one or you use a gasoline powered one. And I am certain that within the next couple of weeks, or months or whatever, someone's going to have a natural gas conversion for one of these. There's already one that's available. Yeah, this thing is cool. It has 6.8 gallon tank and a run time of, I think it said 16 hours. No, that can't be right. Let's look at what it says. I might have my information wrong. Let me go to the site. The site said 18 and a half hours at 25% load. So if you're recharging a battery bank, okay, you could run this thing all night long on 5 gallons of gas, easy, because you're not going to sleep for 18 hours. So you could be charging up your battery bank and running pretty much everything you need. So I would say in duality, it'd be great to have both. So that's my personal opinion. I have 4 generators. I have 2 Harbor Freights. I have another Honda, and then I have I think it's a Cobalt, older generator. I had the old Cobalt when I had my airplane hangar because my doors were electric and there was no way to raise those doors. So if we lost power, at the airport, which was frequent, when we had these guys who would crop dust, and they would come in and not see the wires, and they'd cut them suckers every time. So we'd lose power to the northeast side of the airport at Hooks Airport. So I put a generator in it, because if I was inside the building, I had a flat door, and one of the big doors that I could get in and out of the building. But let's say I had lost power and I had need to get the boat or the airplanes or the helicopter out. How do you open the doors? You're not going to crank that sucker. No way. You'd be there a month. So I bought this old shitty generator, and doors would go up. But I hope that helps, guys. I hope it really does. 295 people have reacted to my post. If I could just get all these people from Facebook, the old school people, and come to YouTube, yeah. Yeah, that may be true too. But doesn't that indicate the number up at the top, 18? I don't know. I don't know how all this works. You guys know that. I'm just an idiot. I'm an idiot who's sunburned really bad because I didn't put anything on yesterday. But anywho, I'm gonna wrap this up. I've put all the links in the description. Vitamin D, yeah, that's it. Sorry, I was thinking about the Ludacris song. Like I said, guys, if you want to donate, reach through the Cajun Army, Navy. Sorry, I'm thinking about the other Army. Reach out to the Cajun Navy. Their Emergency Operations Center, Lauren's amazing. It's just the people who are part of this are doing God's work. They're blessed. Again, they're stopping what they're doing. They're cutting out in their lives to help other people, to put other people's needs above their own. There's no better human being in the world than someone who does that. So, hear my prayers. Okay? Reach out to people you know. Find stuff for children. Everybody's got a ton of crap, a ton of stuff that their kids no longer play with, or their kids moved out of the house. Okay? Package that stuff up. Look at the Cajun Navy's website. Look at how you can send them stuff and help them out. Send a toy. Send anything. Put a note with it. I was watching David's crazy rants on YouTube. I thought about you. This used to be my son's. My son's name was this. My daughter's name was that. Find a doll or something. Put it in package. Send it. Okay? You guys have a blessed night. Yeah, new or used. Just anything. I mean, again, like I said, think about that 10-year-old or younger who's lost everything. You think they're really going to care if it's a used toy? As long as it's all together and it doesn't have like dog slobber all over it. I mean, seriously. Anything. Reach out to these people. Do what you can do. It's just, hold on, I will get the address and I'll put it into this. I'm going to add this link to the video description. And I'll add this link there. You can donate supplies by clicking this link here. There you go. Like I said, everybody do what you can. But if you do nothing at all, at least just pray. Thank you very much. God bless you all. I feel blessed to even be able to have this meeting, be able to share my heart.